One of the best ways that we use it is externally. And of course we could talk with you about charcoal stories and how we have used charcoal both inside the body and outside the body. We could talk with you the rest of the year on that and probably not adequately cover the subject. But now Don Miller is going to show you some of those things, some of the ways that we can use it externally.
One of the scary things that people worry about in their homes is the insects that they might have in their homes. And one insect that I discovered for the first time, saw it for myself, was in the sink when I was going to graduate school at the University of Oklahoma, is the brown recluse spider. Everyone's worried about that brown recluse spider, and they are pretty nasty. When they bite you, they cause necrotic tissue. It can go right down to the bone, and it seems it just does not heal. Well, we were on a tour one time. We're out in California, and a man came to our booth where we were displaying some of our materials, and he told us, I got bit by a brown recluse spider last, I think it was in January, and this was about June when he told us this. And I says, really? And he says, yes, and I kept a scrapbook about my bite. And he had this big scrapbook full of pictures. They didn't really identify it as a brown recluse spider bite for about 3 weeks. So for 3 weeks, there was no treatment at all. And by the time this 3 weeks had elapsed, he had ulcers all up and down his leg. It wasn't just the one. It seemed to have traveled through his bloodstream, and he had ulcers all up and down his leg. Well, they started using charcoal poultices, which Brother Champlin will tell you how to do. But they had applied not just a poultice on this one and a poultice on this one. They made entire leg poultices from his ankle to his hip. He had these large charcoal poultices. And every 2 or 3 days, they took a picture of the leg. And I tell you what, the first few days and the first few weeks and the first couple of months, that leg looked like meat. It was a bad-looking leg. These large ulcers and very angry looking and necrotic tissue going on down. But slowly, they started healing over and healing over until finally the last few pictures, they looked, there were still some wounds there, but it wasn't that bad. Well, here it was. I think he took the pictures until June. This must have been July. He says, well, let me see your leg. And so right there in this booth area, all the people around, he hiked up his pant leg. And on his leg, he had a few little brown patches. No wounds, no necrotic tissue, no holes down to the bone, no amputations, just nice flesh with a little bit of discoloration, which would probably eventually go away too. Brown recluse spider, you don't use antibiotics. Cutting away the tissue is not the way we should do. Just take charcoal and pack it into the wound if you have to. If it tattoos your skin, doesn't really make a difference. I'd rather have tattooed skin than to have my skin cut away by a surgeon's knife because they can't figure out any other way to treat it. And so use God's simple ways. And I'm sure we'll get some real rewards from that. And that's, all right, I had the horse in this man's leg. There's all kinds of ways to use it.
Oh, yes, and all sorts of situations to use it.